Hello once again, Dave Knight here at Knight Capital Management. Thanks for watching, thanks for being here. Today, I'd like to continue our conversation of the top 10 should-ask questions that you should be asking yourself as a trader. Today, we're tackling question number 3, and it's how do you choose the right broker? And more importantly, how do you choose the right broker for you? There are a ton of brokers out here in this environment. And I'm talking about the futures and commodities environment. But I think the very first thing that you need to ask yourself as a trader is if you're comfortable with the trading, or if your educator or your mentor or coach or whatever suggests the trading platform. Like for instance, I suggest the traders that are following me trade with Genesis Trade Navigator. There's a very limited amount of brokers to pick from. With that being said, that they're recommended on the website. With that being said, you can still interview each one of those companies. You as if you lock yourself in on just one broker, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. You should be open-minded enough to ask them, and if you have the initial broker right now, do you handle the Genesis Trade Navigator and can I get it? You know, I want to use the Transact platform. For instance, we use Genesis Trade Navigator and the Transact AT platform is our dome, our depth of market. So I want to make sure the company that I'm with will get the white label version of that I'm comfortable with, or I can go to Transact itself and use that. Now there's disadvantages of going with the deep discount broker, or and it comes into customer service. So the first thing you got to ask yourself is, can you get in contact with this broker if things go wrong? If you get stuck, your computer shuts down, you're blind, in other words, and you have no way of knowing what the market and where you are as a day trader, you need to be able to get in close contact with that individual, speed dial, having several different ways to be able to get in contact with them. Very important, so that you can either clear your trades out or give him where you want to, stay in close contact with them if you're in a profitable position, and eliminating the position if you're losing money. But if you're uncomfortable at any point in that particular environment, clearing out the trade. If it takes you 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to get through to customer service to clear out a trade, you could be down $2-3 in something like the crude oil market, be down $3,000-4,000 on your individual trade, or better, more importantly, you could hit your loss limit for the day and not even know it because you're blind. So you need to be able to get in contact with that broker. Just because they advertise the lowest price out there doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best bang for your buck. You pay for what you get, in other words. Sometimes you got to pay a little bit more for the service that you need. And I think these brokers do a really good job. The ones that really care about their job, the ones that really care about you as an individual trader, they need to make a living too. Now, they don't need to make it at the expense of you, but there's a fair amount of commission cost out there, and you need to shop around. For instance, if they quote you $100 a round turn today in today's environment for hands-off trading where they're not helping you, in fact, if they quote you $25 a round turn, I would say take them and run the other direction, because in this competitive environment of electronic trading, they should be way down to the other end of that spectrum. In fact, a good rule of thumb is whatever market that you're trading, you shouldn't be paying any more than what it costs per tick in that market. So for instance, in the crude oil market, it ticks at $10 a tick round turn. You should never be, I don't think you should be anywhere near $10, by the way. But if you're paying more than $10 right now a round turn at wherever you are, there's some stock companies that you're trying to trade futures at this point, and they're charging that kind of money to do a contract. You need to get with a futures broker that can probably maybe even half that commission cost in half. This is a very competitive business, and there are a lot of people out there that really want to work with you. You just need to cut through them. Now, there's a recommended list of brokers through Genesis Trade Navigator, and I recommend interview them all. Go through the whole list, interview each one. I don't recommend a broker. I'm with Infinity Futures. I like Infinity Futures. I like the broker that I'm with. But I'm always looking to see if there's another deal out there. I've been with my broker for many, many years, and I like him as an individual, and I like him as a person. But if tomorrow he came to me and says, you know what, David, I'm raising your rates by double. Well, I've got two brokers in the line that, it's going to stop me for a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But, oh God, I hope that never happens, right? But he might leave the company and he might say, hey, will you go with me? Will you go here? Will you go there? You never know what's going to happen on your individual broker. But choosing that right broker, you have to seriously consider, do you want to move with them? And I've moved with my broker several different times. But now, I like Genesis Trade Navigator. I like the platform that I am. I've tried different platforms out there, but this platform it's like having a Ferrari that I'm driving. It's like having that Lamborghini or Mercedes or just a really fine-tuned machine that can handle all the different things that I put to it in any given day. And you probably feel just as strongly about the trading platform that you use until maybe you try something else out there. So I think in the end, choosing that right broker is going to be about the relationship that you have with that individual and how much time that they need to spend with you. Now, me and my broker and I, excuse my English there, and I know I'm not a great candidate when it comes to that and never pretend to be. I'm paid to trade. I'm paid to put money into my account. I'm paid to help other individual traders to do better with their accounts as well. But with that being said, your main objective is to pay a fair price. Pay a competitive price, but not get raked over the coals for that price either. So if you're a brand new trader, well, maybe they're going to quote you a higher price. That's okay. As you gain experience, you can reduce that price per trade or per round turn as time goes on. Now, we talk about round turns, that means per side. For instance, let's throw out $5 for instance. If you have a $5 all-in round turn, that means that you're paying $2.50 a side. You pay $2.50 to get in, you pay $2.50 to get out, you pay $5 total all in. That means there's no little hidden cost. You want to be very careful with the broker you choose and make sure that they quote you a price that's an all-in price. That's my recommendation when it comes to that. So in other words, whatever that price is, there's no hidden NFA, CSE, SEC fee, or any other fee that they want to put it onto it. The baby needs a new shoe fund, whatever they want to put that new fee to. You want to make sure that your price that you pay is the bottom line price. You don't get surprised in your statement when you see it that, oh, wait a minute, why am I paying 30 cents more per trade when I thought we had a deal at $5? And you're actually paying $5.30 a trade. So make sure you get an all-in quote. I guess that's probably the most important component right now, is make sure that the trader, and they the broker get along. You don't have to get along, you don't have to be friends, you don't have to get along with the broker, as long as he executes your trades, as long as he does what you want him to do. If you want him to hold your hand, then you can get a relationship like that and get it established. You might pay a little bit more for that kind of relationship, but if you need the deep discount broker, the one that you can't get in contact with, is not the companies that I would recommend as a broker. If your test to a broker is, once you get their number, is to dial that number and see how long it takes them or their assistant to pick up that phone, because what you're doing at this point is testing them to see how long it would take you to execute and get out of a trade, and in this case would be a catastrophic event or some kind of event that locks you out of your computer or shuts your internet service down, or whatever happens out there. You need to get in contact, need to be on speed dial. If it takes you more than 5 to 10 seconds after you get on the phone with them, then you need to find someone else. They need to be able to have the phone's capacity to be able, if not your broker picks up, an assistant picks up. Somewhere along the line, someone has to be able to pick up that phone and get you out of that. If you can't get in contact with that individual, and granted that if a catastrophic event, everybody's calling at the same time. So there's certain things that maybe is a little bit out of their control, but I'm talking about something like your internet going down, or your trading platform, or some other things that might be happening. So day trading is a risky business, and this is money that you need to be investing with your risk capital. This is money that you should pretty much say that I hope it makes, well, I shouldn't say never hope, right? You want to make money with this money, but it's money that you're investing, hope to make more money, but it's money that you have to be able to say, well, if I lose it all, I'm okay with that as well. And no one's okay with losing money. I don't know anybody out here that wants to lose money when they're trading. So I guess what I'm saying with all that is that you need to be investing with your investment capital and your money that you can afford to lose, right? Not your mortgage money, not your rent money, not your lunch money. If you can't afford to get in this game, then I highly recommend work your way to that environment, or recognize that you're going to fall into another trap along the line that we'll talk about in the should ask questions and the fear and greed component. That's all I want to talk about today. This is Dave Knight here at Knight Capital Management. How to choose your right broker. You need to find out what is the best for you. How much hand-holding do you need? And that is going to determine where your commission cost is. If you don't need much hand-holding, in the long run, you can get a very good competitive price out there, and you'll be able to stay with this broker, and you'll be able to move with him if you like him. So it's a very, 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 very touchy subject, and I'm kind of hesitant to even talk about it, but it is an important subject. Your broker and that relationship, they're not going to make or break you as a trader. It's you that's going to, if you're calling your own shots, it's you that has to take the full responsibility for your trading decisions. And likewise, it's you that has to take the full responsibility to make sure your broker is following what you want them to do. And that comes down to an individual basis, right? How much help do you need in the markets? If you don't need any help, then you don't. If you set I don't need your advice type of environment with that broker, then unless you ask for it, they shouldn't give it, right? And the other side of that token, if you're asking for advice and they don't give it, then you obviously need to find another broker. So it's kind of that give and take. So if you need it, they should be there. If you don't need it, then they should respect that, right? You're the customer. They are the service that is there for your benefit. And never forget that. If it wasn't for you, the individual trader, they would not have a job either. Never forget that. You're the most important cog in the wheel that makes the financial markets go around. So outside of that, choosing the right broker comes down to your own personality and do you mesh together. You don't have to get along with your broker as long as you and your broker understand each other and how you need your decisions to be done. And I guess that's all I really want to talk about this. I've actually talked a lot longer than I planned on talking about choosing the right broker. So hopefully this helps a little bit with you and your individual. Never pay more than just shop around. That's my best advice when it comes to choosing a broker. Don't settle on the first Tom, Dick, and Harry company that you call on. Just because they quote you this price, get 3 or 4 different companies out there. Get the rates. Say, I got this rate at such and such company. How can you do? You're in business, and this business is to get the lowest rate possible that you can and still make money in the markets, but also get the service that you deserve as well. All right, Dave Knight here at Knight Capital Management. I hope that helped today in your video content here. This is the number 3 question as the should ask questions here at Knight Capital Management, and questions that you should ask of yourself as a trader. If there's anything that we can do to help, just we're here, we're available. Just send us an email, leave us a message, call us on the phone. Whatever it does. If you want to write in the air and by bird, and you can get over my house to say, whatever it takes. But anyway, if we can do anything to help you, just let us know. Once again, Dave Knight here at Knight Capital Management. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week on our number 4 question, the top 10 should ask questions that you should be asking yourself as a trader. See you next week. Bye now.